You're listening to this article from Convertz.app. Inches, feet, meters, oh my. Why America still one backslash. Only 3 countries don't use metric. The United States, Myanmar, and Liberia. That's it. Every other country on Earth has officially adopted the metric system. So what happened? The answer involves pirates, Congress, and a surprisingly expensive road sign. A brief history of measurement chaos. Before standardization. In medieval Europe, measurements were a disaster. A foot was literally based on the king's foot. It changed with each king. A yard was the distance from the king's nose to his outstretched thumb. An acre was the amount of land a team of oxen could plow in one day. A mile came from the Roman mil passus, 1,000 paces. Every town had slightly different measurements. Trade was a nightmare. The French solution, 1799. France created the metric system based on nature. Meter, 1 out of 10 million of the distance from the equator to the North Pole. Gram, weight of 1 cubic centimeter of water. Liter, 1,000 cubic centimeters. Everything scales by powers of 10. Simple, elegant, logical. America almost went metric twice. Attempt 1, the 1790s. Thomas Jefferson proposed a decimal measurement system for the new nation. Congress was interested but delayed. Meanwhile, France sent scientist Joseph Dombey to America with official metric standards, a copper kilogram and a meter rod. His ship was blown off course to the Caribbean, where he was captured by pirates. He died in captivity. The metric standards never arrived. Some historians call this the reason America isn't metric today. Attempt 2, the 1970s. In 1975, Congress passed the Metric Conversion Act, establishing a voluntary transition to metric. President Gerald Ford signed it. The U.S. Metric Board was created. The key word, voluntary. Without mandatory requirements. Industries that would bear the conversion cost lobbied against it. Public interest faded. President Reagan disbanded the U.S. Metric Board in 1982. Why it's so hard to switch? The cost problem. Converting isn't just about learning new numbers. It requires infrastructure changes. Every road sign in America replacing or adding metric. Manufacturing equipment retooled for metric. Building codes rewritten. Plumbing and construction materials re-standardized. Estimated cost. Various studies have put a full U.S. conversion at hundreds of billions of dollars. Road signs alone. The U.S. has approximately 30 million road signs. Replacing or supplementing each one costs hundreds of dollars. Total, billions just for road signs. The human factor. People resist change, especially in daily life. I know what 72 degrees feels like. What's 22 Celsius? Recipes passed down for generations use cups and teaspoons. Football fields are 100 yards, not 91.44 meters. I'm 5'10" is deeply ingrained in identity. The industry pushback. Key industries opposed conversion. Construction. Lumber is standardized to imperial 2x4 4x8 sheets. Every blueprint, code, and regulation would need rewriting. Workers retrained. Manufacturing. Retooling factories is enormously expensive. Existing inventory becomes incompatible. Supply chains disrupted during transition. America is more metric than you think. Despite the perception, the U.S. actually uses metric extensively. Science and medicine. All scientific research uses metric. Medications are dosed in milligrams and milliliters, and lab work is done entirely in metric units. Military. NATO standardization requires metric. Maps use kilometers, and ammunition is measured in millimeters, 5.56 millimeters, 9 millimeters. Trade and manufacturing. Car engines are measured in liters, 2.0 L, 3.5 L. Nutrition labels show grams. Photography uses millimeters, 50 millimeters lens. Electronics use metric, 3.5 millimeters jack. Food and drink. Wine and spirits come in milliliters and liters, 750 milliliters bottle. Soda is sold in liters, 2-liter bottle. Nutrition facts are listed in grams. Sports. Track and field uses 100 meters, 5K, 10K, and marathon, 42.195 kilometers. Swimming pools are 50 m. All Olympic events are metric. The dual system problem. Living with both systems causes real issues. The Mars Climate Orbiter, $327 million mistake. In 1999, NASA lost the Mars Climate Orbiter because one engineering team used imperial units and another used metric. The spacecraft received thrust calculations in pound force instead of newtons. It entered the Mars atmosphere at the wrong angle and was destroyed. Cost, $327.6 million. Medical errors. Unit confusion between metric and imperial has contributed to medication dosing errors. A dose meant in milligrams interpreted as another unit can be dangerous. Trade complications. U.S. manufacturers often maintain two product lines, imperial for domestic and metric for export. This adds cost and complexity. Countries that successfully switched. United Kingdom. Officially metric since 1965, but still uses miles for road distances. People use stone for body weight and pints for beer. It shows that switching is gradual and messy. Canada. Switched in the 1970s. Weather is in Celsius and distances in kilometers, but people still use feet and inches for height. Close to full adoption after 50 years. Australia. Switched in 1970, completed by the mid-1980s. Full adoption in daily life. Considered one of the most successful transitions worldwide. Common factor, government-mandated transitions with set deadlines work. Voluntary ones don't. The Gen Z metric shift. Younger Americans are increasingly metric comfortable. School science is taught exclusively in metric. International online communities use metric. Global content on YouTube and social media is metric. Gaming and tech industries use metric. And travel to metric countries exposes them to it firsthand. Some predict a gradual, organic shift rather than a mandated one. Quick conversion reference. Measurement, imperial, metric. Length, 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. Length, 1 foot, 30.48 centimeters. Length, 1 yard, 0.914 m. Length, 1 mile, 1.609 kilometers. Weight, 1 ounce, 28.35 g. Weight, 1 pound, 453.6 g. Weight, 1 stone, 6.35 kilograms. Weight, 1 ton, 907 kilograms. Temperature, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Temperature, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. Temperature, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. Temperature, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. Volume, 1 FL ounces, 29.57 milliliters. Volume, 1 cup, 236.6 milliliters. Volume, 1 pint, 473.2 milliliters. Volume, 1 gallon, 3.785 L. Convert any measurement instantly. Tired of doing the mental math? Use our unit converter to convert between metric and imperial instantly. Supports length, weight, volume, temperature, and dozens of other unit types. Disclaimer. This article is for informational and educational purposes only. Historical facts and conversion figures are presented to the best of our knowledge and may be subject to interpretation. Convertz.app provides conversion tools only. That's the end of this article. Visit Convertz.app for more guides and free conversion tools.